Okay, I'm making a video with these flowers and I'm very sad and I need to talk about the dreams that I had last night and the images that came into my head. I'm suspecting the haters behind the images. So, let's see if I can so that I could show the foot spa at the same time. Blue flag iris, foot spa. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough sometimes. My nightmares are rough. Very rough. And that's why I need a blue flag iris foot spa. Because of those nightmares and the terror that goes through my brain at night. Sometimes it's really intense. Really, really intense. The haters sent me an image. They sent me an image of the devil in form of a robot. Metallic plastic. Like a car finish. White. A white devil. It's the big horn sheep, horns, and devil. That's how the devil is being painted, the sculpture of that. But it's not. It's all a misunderstanding, of course. That's a religious misunderstanding of the whole thing about the devil. So, but the hater sent me that image in order to scare me. So, and that image did scare me. It scared me because it had an energy, not of the god Faunus, which is that image of the devil. That's the god Faunus. Not because of it's a depiction of the god Faunus, but because I'm not afraid of the god Faunus. I'm not afraid of the devil, as they call it, the god Faunus. But what scared me was this image that they sent me in my sleep and half sleep. So realistic. I mean, it was like a movie. Like I'm right there, standing right there, in front of this, and it had that machine. It had an energy about it. That's what scared me. The energy about it, the way it looked at me, and that's the energy of the haters. Haters send me an image, and that image portrayed their own energy towards me, and the energy was, oh, I want to get even with her. That's the energy. Even. Of wanting to get even. And I want to ask them, so I want to ask, why do you feel that way? Why do you constantly have this feeling that you need to get even with me? What do you need to get even for? Okay? That's my question to the hater. Why do you feel like you have to get even? What did I do to you to get even? Some people will think I'm schizophrenic and paranoid and all of it. And I'm just in some kind of delusion, or I may suffer from schizoid personality disorder, something like this, right? But the haters have told me themselves that they are dealing with the occult. They are using the occult. And I've told them many, many times, don't use the occult for your ego, for your selfish mental illness needs. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky said it in her Secret Doctrine. Very, very important that people understand this. Do not use the occult for selfish purposes. You can use the occult for immediate self-defense. And you can use the occult to protect someone. But don't use the occult for your ego, for your vengeance. And then I had a nightmare. I woke up from this unbelievable nightmare. That was the nightmare of one of those horror movie baby dolls. Horror movie baby doll, like those zombie dolls. Zombie type of dolls, like Chucky. So, but it didn't look like Chucky. It looked like a girl baby doll. And the facial expression of that girl baby doll was real ice cold. Ice cold. And I know again, that is the energy of the haters. They send me that image with their energy imprinted in it. That's what it is. And it was really frightening, because that baby doll wanted to bite me into my back. And then in the dream, I said to the baby doll, don't make me have to take action against you. And the baby doll face started to sweat out blood. Also was some kind of robot, actually, that would, I don't know, that's what it appeared like. Some kind of robot made for horror movies that sweats out blood when it feels, or when it has some I don't know, when it's like an AI, so when it has a prompt that makes it sweat out the blood, like when it feels threatened or something, or when someone says, don't make me have to do this or whatever, then that initiates these artificial pores from sweating out blood, and then it looked like it had a car accident, and it had blood over here on the face. I have to stay away from direct sunlight. So yes, but it's nice here in the garden. It's very nice, and it's helping me psychologically very much. It's very good. It helps me to talk about. I already talked a whole bunch before I turned the camera on, because I talked about a bunch of stuff to the haters about my mother and all of that, and I don't want to bother the wider public too much with this repetitive complaining about my mother and all of that. But I just wanted the haters to know that It's not a picnic to be in this existence that I'm in. It's a very, very, very harsh existence. And it always has been my whole life. From the moment I was born. The birth process was difficult. I was screaming, red in my face like a lobster. Angry. And I was angry at everyone in the room. The doctors, the obstetricians, my mother, everyone. And I hated it. I hated coming into this existence. But I guess the soul makes that contract. The soul makes that decision. Yeah, let me be born to this woman because she's gonna be nice and messed up in the head so that you can do some massive soul growing and learning. And it doesn't make any sense to me from a reasonable perspective, let's put it that way, or from this existence perspective. It doesn't make that much sense. It's a tough existence. I think about death all the time, non-stop. I always have, my whole life. All the time. I wished I could just, escape. I want to escape. Escape out of this horror. Because it is unbelievably painful. So if I ask myself the question, what do you need to heal your emotional pain? That's a very important question to ask. What do we need? What do I need to heal? The first thing that comes to my mind is I need all haters to stop sending me violent images and scary images of hungry ghost energy. Stop doing it. They send me all kinds of different things. One time Danny sent me a large man robot, like the Michelin tire man sort of image, and that came directly at me, like wobbling towards me very fast and biting me into the face. These things are ongoing. It's ongoing. One time I dreamed about, and I'm sure that was the haters again. It was a while back. I dreamed about a woman that was mad at me for some reason, and she caused herself to die from drowning. And then she appeared again as a ghost in the dream, and scared me real bad. Came towards me in different ways, walking on water, and one time in a barn, suddenly appeared there in between other people, coming towards me and staring at me with that same energy. It's that same hateful expectation and vengeance, like She needs to get even. And that's what the haters have towards me. They have this feeling of they need to get even with me. And I don't know what they need to get even with. What do you need to get even for? What did I do to you that makes you want to have to get even? So as long as I have to deal with hate energy from my haters, and they also sent me on Twitter, they sent me very violent clowns with that same facial expression, with the same energy. Violent clown images all the time on Twitter. I know who's sending those. Why do these things appear in my Twitter feed? I never invited that. I never even. But they're like beyond the rules of any website, because I think they can hack right through any website. They may also be direct infiltrators. They may be part of the hacker team, or they may be hired by the corporate agenda to hack into website, or to get hired as interns like George Hotz did. He got hired as an intern from Twitter. Elon Musk was very trusting, as he always is, and that bothers me very much. I wished I could be Elon Musk's bodyguard, watchdog, because I would prevent any of these people from coming in there. I can already see it in their faces, whether they are friendly or hungry ghost, greedy collaborators. So it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I try to do the best I can to walk through my life without causing anyone problems, without causing myself problems. Without having to go to prison. Without taking drugs, without drinking alcohol, without acting out on anyone, without taking a man away from another woman. I refuse to do that. I will not take a man away from another woman. Even if the woman is mean to me, I will not do it. I will not take a violent man I will not hang out with violent people. I'd rather be alone. I make videos to talk about my problems so that I have someone to talk to. Because we all need someone to talk to. Every one of us needs that. I cried pitifully earlier. I felt so exhausted, I couldn't even walk. I was that exhausted. I think because of those images that they sent me and these nightmares and brain terror. And then I cry for myself. I also cry for them. I always do. Because they suffer. They are restless, suffering, hungry ghost energies. That's what they are. They need to have they need to get unconditional love. They want unconditional love. They need it. Yeah. They think I can give that to them. I can't. I can't be a mother. I can't be in actuality be every single person's nanny or mother, taking you by the hand, and I can't. Okay, I'm not a god. I can only barely take care of myself. Barely keep my head above water. Crying every single day. Every single day. Every single day. I cry my eyes out. Every single day. Because of my own pain from childhood. And then to make things extra burdensome, I cry because of the harassment. Psychic attacks, occult attacks, physical, not physical, but they want to be physical. They would be if I met them. They would torture me physically. And definitely psychological abuse that is going on non-stop. Because they feel like they need to get even with something, and I don't even know with what. I was always nice to them, always try to be fair, always. I want to give them love, that then they want more, and if I don't give more, then they get violent. Then they become possessive. I'm not allowed to talk to any other person other than them. And if I even talk to any other guy, or if I talk to a celebrity guy, then they become extra mean, and they want to tell me how ugly I am and how low class I am, or how much I'm like a trailer trash, and that nobody would ever respect me. It's that energy that is sent to me all the time. Also in form of Twitter posts that are ongoing, tirelessly, incessantly sending me harassment. And when someone does that, that means that person is not happy. Okay. That is not a happy soul or body or brain. That is a very suffering brain that does that. And then I cry for them, and I cry for the whole world. And then I think, how can I help to make things better? What can I do in this existence here to make things better? And then I know for sure that speak it out, okay? I have to say it. I have to write it. I have to say it. Say it. if you don't say it, then you make the world suffer more. My mother didn't say it because she wanted to think of herself as being ultra normal and well. It's a self-image. That's not reality. My mother was not well at any point in time. And that's the harsh reality of it. I believe she suffered from Munchausen and proxy. I believe that she suffered from dissociative identity disorder. She had 2 personalities. She had the good Marlies and she had the werewolf. And I feel sorry for her for that. I feel for her. It must have been hell. Her life must have been hell. That's hell to keep up that facade of good, being so good and normal. That's hell. To do that at all times. Be so good and so reasonable and so normal. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of hellish work. To keep that belief going. My foot is falling asleep. I have to stretch my legs out. So, I gotta shake my foot. It's not super comfortable here, but it's okay. At least I'm on the lawn. I'm getting grounded, so this is important. My dad was not nice to me. Usually when my mother was in the room, was there too. He would not be very nice to me. And when my mother was not there, he was nice to me. That's also a very strange, frickin' psychological dynamic. All of this is not normal. This is not good. Things were never said, spoken. Never a word. My dad would be, once in a while, he would say something. One time he said to her, "Nikki is going on your nerves, and you know it." And she'd be denying it, because she is the giving and nice Marlies. Okay. She can't do anything wrong. That's her self-image that has to be preserved. But he saw it, obviously he saw it. And that's when I told them I have to go back to Paul. There's no way I can stay with them. There's no way. No way. It caused me a lot of pain to go back to my parents for 4 months in 2005. Man, that was real hellish. That was the last time I saw them in person. And then talked to them on video chat. And that went on. It was very painful as well. But at least I wasn't in their house anymore. So I didn't have to deal with living there temporarily anymore. So after the video conversation was done, I could sit on my bed and cry it out. And I did it at their house too, of course. I also screamed at them when I was there, because I cannot go into agnosia and like deep tissue denial or something. Delusional kind of self-image preservation of whatever. Trying to keep up a facade of being well when it's cooking on the inside. I can't do that. So I have to say things. But at least then later on I was living with Paul. I wasn't living with my parents. And that felt safer to me psychologically. The way we heal the human species is if we say things. Talk, say it all out, speak it all out, write it all out. Write it all out to the best of your knowledge, to the best of your intuition. And then keep on working on it. Keep on working on yourself. Keep on crying it out. Keep on saying it out. Screaming it out in the pillow. Okay? Keep on working on this. Talk to people. Read books. Observe people. Watch educational stuff. Okay? Observe. That's really observe more than you read. Read a lot, but then observe as much as you can. Observe other people. Observe yourself. And then you come closer and closer to the truth. And don't accept propaganda. You know, that Martin Miller, he wrote a book about his mother, Alice Miller. Alice Miller was her chosen name. She chose that name. Apparently she was from Russia originally, and she became a psychologist. And she had one child, Martin, and he is about Paul's age, about 65 or something. And he has suffered his whole life because of the way his mother treated him. He finally wrote a book about it, and these things are life-saving, absolutely life-saving. But then Martin, don't make that mistake of believing propaganda from other people. You know, don't believe. I think you're pretty alert and aware about your mother's problems and all of that, and your own problems, but don't make the mistake of falling prey to propaganda from the media propaganda about what's happening here in the United States or who Donald Trump is and stuff like that. Don't make that mistake. Don't fall into the corporate agenda trap in Europe. You know, they're doing wokeism. Be careful about that. Be very careful what you believe. So, yes, baby dog. Yes, it's all good. Yes, my foot recovered. See, and because of that, there's no way that Martin Miller would ever talk to me. I wanted to talk to him and anyone who is a psychologist and interested in psychoanalytical work. I wanted to talk to him about primotherapy and all of this, but now he would never talk to me because I stood up for Donald Trump. But I don't care because I put truth over my own needs. And if everyone in the world would put truth over their own needs and would put questioning society and other people over their own needs and, you know, whatever repercussions in society that may have towards you if you did talk about your if you did voice your criticism towards society, then yeah, that may be uncomfortable, but it may be very uncomfortable. It feels very uncomfortable when people shun me and all. But that's not my number one priority, to be accepted. It feels good to be accepted, but it's not the highest on the list. Okay, the highest on the list in my life is truth. And if that was the case with everyone in the world, we wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't have this situation with corruption and corrupt governments and greed and all of that. And religious fanaticism. We wouldn't have all of that if people put truth on the highest pedestal, on the highest priority level. Truth. Okay, speak it out. Speak out how you feel. You know how you feel inside of you. You know when you feel jealous. Say it. When you are jealous of someone, talk to someone about it. You can go to a psychiatrist or psychologist. You pay a lot of money for counseling sessions and for sharing your thoughts. That's better than not doing it. But why pay all of that money when you can grab your computer or your tablet, your phone, and you make a video? I highly recommend to people to hold your phone or tablet sideways when you make the video. Hold it sideways like this. Okay? That way it shows the whole screen. I don't like these quick videos made with people holding their phone upright like this. Then it just shows a little sliver. Hold it sideways, then we see the whole wider picture of your surroundings, the trees, all of that. I want to see the whole picture. That's what I do. But I usually only use the Chromebook to make videos. So sometimes I use a phone. I hold it sideways. On the phone it uploads to Paul Redwood Forest, to Paul's channel. So I have it connected with that on the phone. Because I'm getting tired of my computer always giving me the notification of, yeah, someone tried to use your account, some unknown tablet tried to get into your account and all of this. I'm getting tired of it. So I guess we need to have different accounts for different devices to make it a little bit easier for the AI, so the AI doesn't get all confused. So I don't want the sun to get into the camera. Okay, so yeah, I needed to say this. This was important. So we need to communicate with each other. We need to share with others how we feel. And we also need to honestly say to the other person, this is how you made me feel. To say to the other person, you have harassed me, okay, it hurt me. Not be proud and then pretend it didn't bother you, or, you know, the hysterically laughing smiley emoticon, always like, ha ha ha, is this just, you're so funny, you're entertaining me. No, you are not entertained, you're mad. Why don't you say it? Say it. Say that you are mad, and say why. Then we can have an actual communication. Then we can actually share with each other how you feel, how I feel, how we made each other feel, the haters and me, for example, you know. I am sharing with the haters honestly how I feel and how they have made me feel. Why should I be proud and pretend that, they're little sissies, they're amusing me. I don't care about that. I don't care if a man calls me trans or man or whatever. Of course it bothers me. And it bothers every woman out there. Every woman is hurt by that. Real hurt. They are so hurt that, particularly with teenage girls, they are not strong enough to stand their ground. They will send the nudes to prove to the men that they are girls. And that's a whole point why the haters do it. That is one of the reasons why they do it. They do it so that because they're hoping that the woman or the girl is then feeling coerced to send them nudes to prove to them that they are real female. Okay. So I am not giving into extortion like this. I have made a mistake several times. I have made the mistake. I fell into that mistake a few times where I wanted to, when I had someone that I liked, and even though I didn't want to, it felt humiliating. Then I fell into that anyway. It was sort of like a melange for me. But for a teenage girl is scared of that, and the only reason why they will send nudes is to prove to them that they are real females. Because it does hurt like hell. If someone says, I bet you have a pecker, or I bet you're not a real female, or whatever, They do this because, for two reasons. To get the nudes, and to feel like they're in charge of the situation. And also to get even, of course, but that's all part of the being in charge. In order to hurt that other being. Okay, that's why they do it. And it really hurts. It hurt a real girl, a real woman like myself, who is fully straight, feels hurt by that. And they know it, and that's why they use that strategy. It hurts. Okay, I bear it all out psychologically to you. Okay. And that's how we have to interact with each other. I'm not going to pretend that it didn't hurt. We all have insecurities, okay? All people have some sort of insecurities. Even the machoest of the machoest have insecurities. They particularly have insecurities. Men have insecurities. Women have insecurities about their appearance. If we're called trans, or someone accusing us of being a tranny, it hurts like hell because that would mean I'm ugly. That would mean my face is not pretty enough or something. So to feel like I'm being perceived like that. I'm being perceived like I'm not feminine, like I'm not pretty. It hurts like hell. Okay. So obviously we know who we are, We know we're girls. We know we have girl bodies. Okay. So they can't take that away from us. But it still hurts to be perceived at that as in such a monstrous type of way. So, but even if we know they do it with these strategies, it still hurts. It still hurts. And you all know it. You all know it hurts. whether you admit to yourself or not. And we need to admit this to ourselves, how much things hurt us, how much our mothers hurt us, if they were mean, or our dads, or society, or teachers, our friends. We need to admit to ourselves that we are jealous of our girlfriends, whatever, or other girls, women on the internet, that we see social media, bragger type of women, girls out there. And a lot of women are jealous of them. So the bragger women, they want you to feel jealous of them. That feeds their ego. So, but don't pretend you're not. Okay, if you are, then you are, and you say it. You can also say it to them, and you can say, "Oh yeah, you can say it to them. You are gorgeous." Say it to them. It feels very liberating to say to a girl or woman, "You are freaking gorgeous. How can you be so gorgeous?" So it feels good. Do it. Try this. I tell you what, if you do this, you make the world a better place. And if that hurts your ego, sit with it. Sit with that. I'm here. I'm holding your hand. Okay. Sit with that feeling of jealousy. I do it. I have been doing it. Okay. I do it all the time. I have terrible jealousy. I have PTSD, complex PTSD with jealousy. It's really intense. My mother passed that on to me because my mother was jealous of me. Okay, so she passed on that very energy onto me. It's a trauma, okay? And I think that most people have that trauma, actually. Now we have to deal with it, not tuck it under the rug. You have to deal with it. You have to acknowledge it. You have to talk about it. You need to first of all acknowledge it to yourself, and you need to sit with that. Sit with something. Do it in increments. Don't do too much at once. So be nice to another woman. It doesn't hurt the world. It makes the world better. I have said to many women, I like the way black women look. Okay, they have beautiful, beautiful faces and bodies. They don't think that. Okay? They feel ugly, and I feel terribly sad for that. And that's a result of childhood trauma, and it's a result. It's also the result of evolution. Obviously, black men like white women. This is evolution. That has nothing to do with the black woman. Nothing to do with your sex appeal, with your beauty. Okay. Black men like white women. White women like black men. Okay. Myself included. Okay. I like black men. I like the way they look. Okay. I like Latino men. I like mixed men, particularly. Those are my favorites. Black, white, Latino, and Native American. These 4 biggies. I don't know why it is. I'm not gonna lie about it. Why should I lie about it? So I like Danny. I like that chubby, strong, short guy with the big round face with the pancake cheeks, okay? So I like that. I want to do this with him. I also want to put him into a chador. That is it. That's a necessity. Danny must experience at least one time for one day. Just all I'm asking. One day in a chador, okay? And then we go to a coffee shop and I'm gonna play your slave holder, okay? I'm gonna play your domino just for a day. Put you in a chador and make you feel how that feels. Feel how that feels. Other living beings in that situation for their whole life, and you the slaveholder, the woman mummificator, the women mummifier. That's what you are. Okay. One day in a chador. Then we talk after that. You can cry it all out. I'll be there holding your hand. You can cry it out for 3 hours straight, how that felt. And then I'll say, Danny, that's how you made your wife feel for 40 years. That's how you make your daughter feel for 100 years. I don't know how long, okay, but that's for. It's okay if you do it to others, right? It's not okay if others do it to you. That double standard has got to be banned, okay, from the world. And the only way we can ban this is if we say everything the way we feel it. Say it. If you are being mummified into a chador, anyone out there, and that's usually women, okay, not people like Danny. They're mummified by people like Danny. Okay. If you are being mummified into a chador, you need to stand up for yourself, even if they kill you. At some point, if everyone does it, you free all women in the world by standing up for your own rights. Just by you standing up for your own rights, you free all women. Okay. That's what I do. That's how I live my life. I walk my talk. I would never let a man put me into a chador. I would become violent if they tried. I also don't like dresses. I find dresses humiliating for women, to be honest with you. I find dresses, long dresses, short dresses, medium dresses, stiletto shoes, little shoely, flimsy little sandals, shit. I find all of this terribly humiliating for women. I have worn these shit things, okay, in the past because I didn't know better. So I was just going along with society, you know, so I thought that's girly. And it didn't feel good to me. It did not feel good. It didn't feel good because, for purely psychological reasons. It didn't feel good because I felt vulnerable. My PTSD would come up with this because I have been molested as a little girl. And that pain comes up in a very like a sneaky type of backhanded type of way where you can't even put your finger on it. And it made me feel like how can I even run in shoes like this? There's no way I can run in flimsy shoes. And it was hurting my feet. And it was uncomfortable. One time I even broke a bone in my foot because I wore these shoes. So, and then it just, all of these like flimsy dresses. I don't have a problem with the tank top. I don't have a problem with the bra. I don't have a problem with a very feminine top or sweater or blouse or something like this. But I do have a problem with skirts and dresses. I have polo dresses, but the reason why I bought those is because the t-shirts are always too short. So I have an extra long back. Those polo dresses come over my hips, and that's what I need, because I need to. I like to have my hips covered. So, or I get cold, or I get bladder infections. So, and then I mean, if I had a boyfriend, just alone with my boyfriend, then I would play with him in the polo dress without any other clothes on, right? Yeah, I'll do that. But only with him alone at home. I wouldn't go out like this, or, you know, I wouldn't. In LA one time, that was a big, huge mistake. I started to go out with Paul, and I had this mini dress. That was a tank top mini dress that had a fanned out skirt that would come out to just a little bit shorter than mid thigh. And that was really, really something. That was like the donkey going onto ice, and that was like no. It did not feel good at all. It felt terrible, to be honest. What that did, the way I was stared at, I felt like I was nude in public. And that's an absolutely scary as fuck situation. I have nightmares over that. Absolute terrible nightmares. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I wore platform sandals and that dress. Oh, I bet they thought I was a hooker. And I wanted to be sexy looking. I wanted to be girly, and ended up to be like an overkill. It was like more than sexy and more than girly. It was like it was intense. It was really intense. And I wasn't that fat as I am now, so the teenage boy across the street came out of his house. And a bunch of men suddenly came onto the sidewalk where we were standing, and I was like, where are all these guys are coming from suddenly? And they all wanted to talk to me. And I felt like a total slut, and it felt really terrible, and that is not my personality. I felt like they were looking at me like I don't have a brain. It felt really bad, and I felt very, very vulnerable. And then we went to a party like that. On the way, we stopped at the coffee shop, and the guy in the coffee shop asked me why I'm with Paul. Nothing but problems. And then at the party, it was the party where we would go into a swimming pool. I wore a bikini underneath. And then my friend said, I'm glad at least you wore a bikini underneath. It's like, hell yeah. I mean, like, why would I not wear a bikini underneath? You know? I mean, what are you thinking? Who do you think I am? Some hooker or something? And so it was painful. That whole day was just pain. And then I never did that again. So, and that's my experience with dresses. It makes me feel like a hooker. It makes me feel like I'm viewed as having no brain. It makes me feel disrespected. And the worst of it is makes me feel naked. And it makes me feel scared. It makes me feel terrified to death. It brings up my PTSD from childhood and all the whole thing. So I think it's just wrong. It's wrong. I think dresses need to be banned. Unless you wear them under your other outfits unless you wear them under your combat cargo pants. So then it's okay. And that's what I do to keep my hips warm. Okay, so but for no other reason. So I mean, maybe with my boyfriend in private I would, but I don't have a boyfriend because the only men who have been talking to me are hardened criminals, and so there's no way I'm gonna hang out with a hardened criminal. I can't. I'm too psychologically vulnerable for that, obviously. So I said it all now. I laid it all on the table. Okay, this is how it is. Okay. Child abuse is a horror. It causes the person to suffer for the rest of their lives. We can end all of this horror by talking how we feel. We can end the horror in the Vatican with all of those clergymen molesting little boys. Okay, that could be stopped if they would just come out of the closet, those guys, and admit to themselves why they even became these clergymen in the first place. And just let's talk about it. The Muslim man let's pack it all on the table how you are scared of women. You're terrified to death of women. That obvious, or you wouldn't be mistreating women like you do. So keeping them mummified so that they can't even be seen by another man. So like the chador, complete mummification where only the iris is shown. Like some kind of ghost puppet or something. You walk through life like a ghost puppet. Is that the meaning of your life? No, I don't think so. Is that the meaning of your life to make women suffer like this? I don't think so. So let's talk about it, how we feel. Free your woman, talk to her. Sit down on the table and talk to her. You become closer to each other. Sex will be better. Trust me, I know for sure. You're equals. Equals. Okay? We're all equals. All sentient beings. We're all equals. We're all equally precious. The tree too. Women and men are equally intelligent, equally educated, equally powerful as a workforce. They have equal say, equal intellect. So sit together, put your brains together, exchange how you feel, and be honest, radically honest with each other. Then we make the world a better place, okay? Peace out.